The U.S. announcing another massive military aid package for Ukraine, valued at $775 million. It will include more ammunition for the HIMARS rocket systems, 16 new howitzers, and for the first time, the Pentagon is sending 15 Scan Eagle reconnaissance drones to better identify key Russian targets. This latest round of military aid comes as the standoff in Zaporizhia continues. Heavy shelling near Ukraine's largest nuclear plant has many fearing a potential catastrophe. Ukraine's President Zelensky met with the UN Secretary General, who says the area around the plant needs to be demilitarized.
Russia has detained an Islamic State terrorist who was allegedly planning an attack in India. The suicide bomber was detained by the Russian Federal Security Service. He was planning to travel to India and plotting a terror attack against one of India's elite leadership. This is what Russia's Federal Security Service had to say in the statement, and I quote, "The FSB of the Russian Federation in Russia identified and detained a member banned in Russia by the international organization Islamic State, a native of a country in the Central Asian region, who planned to carry out an investigation on the initiative of one of the representatives of the ruling circles in India." End of quote. As we mentioned in the statement, the terrorist was a native of a Central Asian nation. Now, according to the FSB, the detained was recruited as a suicide bomber in Türkiye. He was apparently recruited remotely using Telegram. After that, he was given the task of leaving for Russia. From there, he was supposed to fly to India to carry out the high-profile terror attack.
The only thing that stands out is that somehow Israeli officials have once again really muddled the messaging or, the decision, because really no reason was given at all. And that only can lead us to really speculate right now until we get a better understanding. It could be something as innocent as a logistics issue. Remember, Israel is going to set up buses that were going to bring Palestinians from the southernmost point of the West Bank to this airport, which is at least 3 hours away near Eilat. It could be that Israel simply hasn't been able to organize yet their personnel and security to allow what would have been about 500 Palestinians in the West Bank per week flying on 2 Turkish flights. That was how the program was going to begin.
Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan was charged under the country's Anti-Terrorism Act on Sunday. The Interior Minister tweeted in the early hours that Khan had to, quote, face the law for threatening and hurling abuses at the magistrate and police officers. Khan had criticized them at a rally on Saturday over the arrest and alleged torture of a close aide.
Islamabad Inspector General and Deputy Inspector General, we will not spare you. We will file a suit against you. And Magistrate Ziba Chowdhury, you should also get ready, as we will take action against you. You all should be ashamed.
Pakistan authorities booked the aide last week on sedition charges, accusing him of inciting mutiny in the military. Khan has been making fiery speeches to gatherings across the South Asian nation.
Authorities in Albania say they're investigating why 2 Russians and a Ukrainian citizen were caught entering a military plant in the central city of Gramsh. The Ministry of Defence claims one of the individuals, who were detained on suspicion of espionage, was taking photos of the facility. Tirana says 2 military guards were hospitalised from injuries they sustained while making the arrests. The intruders reportedly used neuroparalytic spray to burn and temporarily blind the guards. Gramsh military plant opened in the 1960s to produce Kalashnikov rifles, but production ended after the fall of communism in 1990. Since then, Kalashnikovs and other small weapons are dismantled and repaired at the factory.
Police made a staggering discovery when they opened these boxes shipped from Canada. This powdery substance, the highly potent and deadly drug, fentanyl. Previously, the largest ever Australian seizure of fentanyl was just 30 grams. Investigators say the haul from the December shipment was 11 kilograms, a quantity so large they can't put a street value on it.
This is the equivalent of about 5.5 million potentially lethal doses.
In Australia, fentanyl is a highly controlled prescription drug. The painkiller is about 80 to 100 times stronger than morphine.
The Yamuna River is overflowing as heavy rains cause the waterway to swell. That's inundated Prayagraj, one of the most populous cities in India's Uttar Pradesh state. It's forced many to flee their homes and seek shelter on terraces and in relief camps. Intense monsoon rain has triggered both floods and landslides in the region over the past 3 days. It's overwhelmed hundreds of villages and swept away houses. In eastern Afghanistan, heavy rain has come hard on the heels of a severe drought and a series of heat waves. Around a dozen people have been killed by flash floods, which have destroyed both homes and livestock.